Good afternoon, class. Today we'll be covering a very important phrase you'll meet during the search of feminist YouTube: playing the victim. If you're all ready, we'll begin.
And the first thing I want to talk about, let's just get it out of the way, this article from the Metro that people keep sending me, asking me to chime in on. It's this piece written by Miranda titled, "Dear white people, you're never racially discriminated against, so shut up." And my initial reaction to this is, I love this so much. It's just so perfectly hypocritical that it's almost a work of art. I mean, I just love that you told all white people to shut up about discrimination based off of a single poll that says just over 50% of white people feel mistreated in some way because of the color of their skin. I mean, if we look at the definition of discrimination, we find the unjust or prejudicial treatment of different categories of people or things, especially on the grounds of race, age, or sex. And understand, I'm saying this as one of the white people that doesn't feel like I have been personally discriminated against because I'm white. But you're not helping anyone when you're making blanket statements and closing out, "We've had 300 years of you telling us how superior you are. We're not listening to your bullshit now." Making a blanket statement about all white people, telling them to shut up, saying that they are superior to you, that's not going to help a conversation. This article is a perfect example of what white supremacists want you to be throwing out there. Divisive, all-encompassing statements. And understand, my argument here isn't that you need to tiptoe around white people's sensitivities. I mean, can you imagine if I put out a video called "Dear Black People, you never really insert blank, so shut up"? What the fuck is that going to accomplish? Which, by the way, I am aware there are people writing shit like that. To those people, I also say, go fuck yourself. It's just so stupid, and if I seem a little bit frustrated, it's not because I feel attacked by this or I'm offended by this. It's just I've been doing this for so long, it's so annoying to see people so proudly shooting themselves in the feet.
So, let's bring this statement together. Philip is asked by a number of his audience, number unknown, to weigh in on an absolutely retarded article tying all white people under the same brush and saying that they should shut the fuck up because minorities have it harder. Absolute textbook anti-SJW YouTuber material to rip the fucking shreds, right? Fucking hell, our lecturer swore. Instead of tearing it to pieces, as many anti-SJW YouTubers would do, Philip instead responds with, "This is a dumb article for a couple of reasons, but if nothing else, gives white supremacists ammunition to spoil the reputation of what feminism should be. In other words, do feminism a favour, guys, make it more effective, help it achieve its goals of equality by not unnecessarily pissing a bunch of people off with blanket statements," which is very measured, much more measured than your average anti-SJW YouTuber, I would argue. What's Marina's response to this measured criticism? There are two notes you should be making about this tweet, class. First, an abbreviation quote completely missing his point, and two, an inflammatory statement likely to cause upset unnecessarily. Why, Marina? Why was that necessary? Philip finds this tweet and thus comes to the crux of the lecture. He posts this tweet. This is the tweet that is in hot debate right now. From my research, there appears to be several issues feminists and fans of Marina have with this tweet. One, how did he find this tweet? He must have been searching for feminist reactions. Two, he dogpiled her. He has purposefully set his millions of fans onto Marina. Three, he is pandering to right-wing wankers, and he is obviously bashing feminism. Well, let's go through these concerns in order, and see how they create this playing the victim mentality. Number one, even in the screenshot of this tweet, we see it has 36 retweets. Probably many more since the screen cap was taken, although that's unknown. It is very probable, therefore, almost certain in fact, that one of those retweets caused the tweet to end up on the Twitter feed of one of the many millions of DeFranco fans. And subsequently, it was spread around the other DeFranco fans until it finally reached Philip himself. We call this phenomena going viral. The fact that Marina thinks it wasn't this, but rather him searching for her name specifically, is what we call the feminist sense of entitlement. Number two, yes, he could have blurred her name very easily, but dogpiling is a very peculiar phenomenon within the YouTube social justice movement. You see, one of the common feminist statements is that anti-feminists, where they make the argument of free speech, are supposedly not chasing free speech, but consequence-free speech, which some feminists say is just not acceptable. You can't have consequence-free speech. All free speech must be met with criticism. However, when, as we see here, a feminist gets called out by anyone, they are being dogpiled, even when, as here, they called out the person specifically. What happened to consequence-free speech? Scholars are still looking into this mystery. Many, including myself, would argue that it does not matter whether you tagged them or not specifically in the tweet. I myself was always told not to say anything, especially on the internet, that you wouldn't say to that person directly. Not just because it's scumbaggy, but because it might come back to bite you in the ass. You are free to say it, Marina, but not without consequence and challenge. Isn't that the feminist way? Number 3, finally, as we saw, Philip never pandered to the right-wingers.
I mean, can you imagine if I put out a video called Dear Black People, You Never Really Insert Blank, so shut up? What the fuck is that going to accomplish? Which, by the way, I am aware there are people writing shit like that. To those people, I also say go fuck yourself.
In fact, in the video, he actually implied he was trying to help the feminist cause by making them less inflammatory and unnecessarily argumentative.
It's just so stupid, and if I seem a little bit frustrated, it's not because I feel attacked by this or I'm offended by this. It's just I've been doing this for so long, it's so annoying to see people so proudly shooting themselves in the feet.
Purely his opinion, take it or leave it. But calling out Marina and linking her to everyday feminism, that's gotta be bashing feminism, right? This is a veiled attempt. Well, no. What Philip is pointing out here, I think, is how it proves his point perfectly that the people supposed to be solving these societal problems are so quick to attack, misinterpret, and generally produce fuck-dumb statements for no real reason besides the fact they're offended over something they didn't pay full attention to. Maximum twattery indeed. And thus, this lecture concludes. Marina, you've done an incredibly stupid thing. And unfortunately for you, that thing didn't go under the radar. You certainly have no sympathy from me. You can't go crying about it now and playing the victim like a belle. The job's fucked, Marina. And for fuck's sake, don't start talking about how you're a small YouTuber being bullied. You're smaller than Philip, but you're way too big to not understand how you brought this on yourself. Maybe next time, if you're going to make an argument, you make an argument, rather than putting a snidey tweet that adds nothing to the conversation. Bell end. And right on cue, there's Danny Korcz pulling the fire alarm in defence of his primary wank material. Have a good day, class.